All right, today is Thursday, June 20. What are we at? June 25th, and the market was up 299. Really came on strong late. S&P 3577, Nasdaq 107, small caps. Let me see this again. Small caps 1063. VIX was down 31.816% drop. Commodities, gold 1772, silver 1790, crude 3904. And today we had a strong move in the market late. And let me look at the SPY here. So we're still in this range here. This almost looks like it wants to be a double bottom here, then bounce up. We'll see here. It's still trending down on the daily chart. We'll see how this plays out. Slowly developing here. 4-hour chart, trying to turn up again. We need to break really this line here. I would say we're sort of over it now, trying to get over it coming out of this. So it's looking more bullish if we can hold this line. Today was a good start. Virus cases are jumping. All the states, Florida, Texas, say they're not reopening as scheduled now. So that's real bad. With the Fed's there, the Fed's going to pump liquidity in this market. So unless the Fed says otherwise, it's just slower stuff opening up. With more and more cases, that is a problem. But I mean, it's not really dropping. We're not really like washing out like this or anything. So it's holding steady here. Tech's holding up the market too. So excuse me, we'll see how this plays out. Just take a look at top gainers today, and EKSO was a great move. I had 4.28 million in float. It all started pre-market. That's why you have to get up. If you want to trade these, you have to get up pre-market, because a lot of the move will start pre-market. You can get in way early. This was at 8:35 a.m. Little F pattern here. Here's your move. F 350. Your stop is 3. However many shares you want to trade, that's up to you. And then with another green right here. You can keep going here and keep your stop the next line below. And then we had a fade back right here to just under near 5. Excuse me, 5, and then this broke up. Nice little, sort of like a cup and handle U shape. And went up as high as 850. And then we went sideways 7. This held all day. This was a great game. And this had news, let me see here. Let me see the news on this. Worth a small play. Sword after company gets FDA clearance to use robotic exoskeleton brain injury for brain injuries. COVID-19. So that was the main thing for brain injury. So that was huge. And low floats again, supply and demand. So when you have a low float, the supply is limited and the demand is heavy. That's why we keep going up here. So that was a great run. IPDN, look at this, really late. This was right over 175 and this took off. I wonder if there's news on this. I'm looking at my trade ideas. I'm not really looking at the news. Let me see. Shares for medicine. New subsidiary, 12K, I don't know. Possibly news. But it doesn't even matter, because this is another one. It's pretty low float, 10.8 million. It took off, and that's a strong run. Keep on watch tomorrow. VXRT. I talked about this in some other videos. Over 350. Look at this. Lower, higher, the lows getting higher, higher, higher. Broke out, and you had 132 million today. And this was 475.5. And there's your high today. So you can play within that. You know we're going to test that on the high today. That is your leverage right there, and you're playing under it, and you're looking for the break. PHCF, sort of choppy. Fade it down. This is a tougher trade. APDO. This wasn't bad pre-market too. Right here, first candle, 650. And then we're up, 9. Pull back, and look, where's the pullback? Look at this. To a T, we hit the 30 EMA. Then up, and back down, and back up. So this was, don't be scared of these candles here. You have to give it time and let that pull in. That's why this 13, man, when a stock's strong and this little run here, and it's going to make that run, you're going to have to use that as support. So remember, it was really a sell. This is a pullback, see small volume, lower volume. KTOB, tougher trade, moves up to 120, then faded. Too many little sketchy candles here. Pays, this is another F, look at this, big candle up, and then there's your F, right over 8, and this is as high as 1025. OBCI, this is right over 1150. The volume was in and out here, not great volume at all, but look at the long all day. Look at the great long. INO, this had a move over 2650, came back, and now 3246 is another great long. Look at these candles here. Look at the volume. When you have that much liquidity, that's what you want to trade. You know you're going to get great moves on this going north with that volume. Red, Rite Aid. This was nice right over 1425 to 1630. It's a great long all day. But see, the market really came on strong later too. So this really moved. SINO, CTXR, APDN. This was clean over. This is a ascending triangle, right over 8, and took off. FTCH, DRRX. This was a lot of the same patterns there as far as this like one major candle and then sideways 245 all the way up to 280. NNBC. This is a tougher trade. Moved to market, bounced back, and then we came back over 775. Then came back down, then we went sideways. BRP. This is like a loop from yesterday, over 14 and took off. A lot of great longs today. You have small caps, large caps, or larger caps, and small mid caps. FTS, not that great of on 330 stocks. I don't really want to play not that high. SRNE. See, trades like this, any chart you can almost trade, but how difficult do you want to make it? This is very choppy, all over the place. Play a bounce here maybe. Look for easier trades. BCLI, this was over 1075. That's a nice long. BRM's a nice long. Road 51, look at that, all the way up to 57. That's a $6 gain. AFMD was clean over 420, and then we have the 460 there. What else we got on the list here? Ally, I think there was news of maybe partnership or someone's going to be bought out. I heard that yesterday at CNBC. Load, OCX, GoGo. What else we got here? CHK. Move, spot. What's this move? This was a really good move. I just had this like little V shape here. Crossover 13 over 20 EMA. Took off to 1225. GNMK over 1375, 1450 plus. Excuse me. UPWK. Just had a move 1325, then we get to 1425. That's a nice dollar move. PDN, very. So a lot of good movers today. Different categories again, nothing specific. You had EKSO, brain injury, Rad, Rite Aid. A lot of different companies involved today, like different sectors. So let's take a look at SPY further. So the SPY, we're in this range here, came back down, and we're fading down here. Now, I still don't like this. I want this to really wash out and go under 20 on stochastics. And we'll see there. See if this bounces up. But this is my support right now. I'm going for 296.74 on this buy. NASDAQ bounced back today too. We'll see if this holds this level here, maybe 97.59. Dow Jones, same thing. Watch for this candle, 24.843. The VIX right now is at 32. So this came up on daily right here, 30, held 30. Let's see in the weekly, trying to cross over. This is very oversold. 4-hour chart came back, didn't reach really 80. Oversold is coming back in. The 2-hour, see that's your support now, 30. Sort of in this range now, almost like 35, 30. So it's staying elevated. We'll see what happens after hours. UVXY, you draw a line here or even here. We'll see where this goes. This could cross under again. It's trying to cross. It's very tight. We'll see if the volatility brings in that. Still staying. It's very iffy. Could go either way at this point. All right. ETFs, UDAO. If you draw your line here, this is pretty much even. If you want to bring this down, this line, it's almost like hugging it here. So this is a big symmetrical triangle. You have all the way down, up, the lower high. Then look at this, touch, touch, touch. We'll see if this holds here. This is another one too. It's sort of went under 20 almost. It's bouncing back. Are we going to do this? Take a higher move, and come up or come down, and then come back up here. Today was a good day. We'll see if this really holds here, that low. That is the key on all these charts. UDAO, TQQQ. Yeah, this is still in range. It looks still pretty good on TQQQ. What do we got here? TNA. This is another one. See this? Buy right here. Here's a little buy, and we're caught here. Is this a buy? We're on trend line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touching points here. But on this, you have red over green, so it's not really crossed over. It's not a good sign here. So we'll see. Any kind of news, let's break this out. This will go up. That's the problem. Any kind of strong news. If not, you could drift back and test that. We'll see what happens on that. That is the same thing. This is really trying to hold this 29.82 line. Getting very oversold here. Soxel. On this line here, we're trying to break over this, get back to the 50% retracement level. We'll see what happens on that. What else do we have here? SPSL, SPXL. This mimics the SPY. You have 1 touch, 2, 3, almost 4. We'll see if this holds. This is another one that's bending down now, unless this crosses like this and goes up. Still in a downtrend. So nail is completely in a downtrend. So we'll see where this goes. This might go to this trend line. This might go towards 22. We'll watch that candle right there. This goes below 22. We have just under 22. We'll see what happens with that. Defin. This is very oversold. It's at a 7.52 stochastic. It's very oversold. Now, if you draw a line here, this is forming a falling wedge. See that line right there? That means it's getting tighter and tighter until a move. It's probably going to be up. I should actually put this here now. And see this line? This is a line from all the way up top. So falling wedge is, see that? It gets tighter and tighter, smaller until it break out of the wedge. It's really a 5-point wedge, meaning this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 should be next to breakout. So this really doesn't have much lower to go. It's already very oversold. Could go a little more to 10. I don't see much lower than that. We'll see. And then this is another one extremely oversold. It's at 12.84. It did cross over on stochastics. You draw a line here. And you have a line right here, and then you draw a line right here. This is another one's forming a wedge. If you want to draw it here, it doesn't really touch. These points touch here. So this is another one, tight, tight. This is ready to come out of this wedge now. Very tight. When you have this, space is getting, see it, tighter, tighter. There's no room to run to the downside. This is run so far from 64 to 40. You have oversold in stochastics. At this point, it better be long and short, unless it's like a move like this, where it's just complete wash down and, you know, like a crash in the market. This is a good bet to go long at this point. It's either in the next few days, something's going to happen, maybe next week, there's going to be some positive news, something's going to happen. That's why the charts, you can always tell what the future will bring. The charts tell it all. Like when this had a move back here, this cross, you knew after this run up, something was up. A big cross at the top of the pattern, that was a major move. Then you start hearing news, coronavirus in China, and look at this, and it just washes down. You can always see, the charts will tell you the future. What else do we have here? The bearish ETFs, FAS. This really needs to get over like that 19 again from the big bearish candle today. Really sold off. So the bulls took over today. SDAO is another one. This has to get over about 25.63. SPXS needs to get over that 828 line with the bigger candle here. There's TZA. And what else do we have here? Stocks. Just needs to get over that line. You get 586 on the 6+. So it's very tough between them bulls and bears at this point, because it's everything's caught in between. We have the run up, down, tried to break it back up, and then we have like an M pattern. You have like here, little move here, and then M. Is it going to go this way and fade out? I don't like this on here on the SPY. We've come here. I like the full range. I want it to go under 20. So we're here. We're going to do like a break up and back down. We're just going to keep drifting down. So we are caught here. That's why it's tough to put in a swing. I mean, longer term, I think we're going to get a bounce soon, but it's tough to say when at this point. Way to move up, a little move down, then a really good move up, chopped around here, then this was the last run. So we had about 3 runs, and right now we're chopping around. So we'll see what happens with that. Some oil stocks. Oxy's trending down still. This might bounce soon too. MFA. This is really another triangle play. Just needs to break up. And then what are some other plays? Then I like this as a swing. There's a cross there. I like this even more now. That's a change of direction cross, bottom of the pattern. And then let's see here. Can't really bring it here. Well, it does connect. You do, if you want to do line to line. See right here, you're doing wick to wick. It really connects. You really should do full body to full body though when you're connecting these. So this is tough. It really like adds up. It's really below the line. So let me see here on my FinViz. Yeah, FinViz still holds it up to here. But this is showing a cross. Let me draw a line here. Let's see what this does. Go here. See if this is another falling wedge. Yeah, this is somewhat of a falling wedge here too. They all pretty much have the same patterns. So this is another one here. Yeah, move up on falling wedge. You have 1, 2, 3, maybe 4, then 5. We're going to bounce up here. Very oversold. We're at 1456, so extremely oversold. So you see on here, once this moves up here, you sell. You don't want to stay up here. It can remain up, but buy here, and look where it went. Another buy here, and we could be, our next move could be up here. We could test that 13 again. Next line here, if this does break up, you know, you have each line 11, 12. There's all kinds of candles up here. So, but it's very oversold at this point. Yeah, I think we're going to get a bounce soon. Even though the news is not good with the coronavirus and everything, but the trend, see the overall trend still, all these lows, see this low, it's higher low, higher low, higher low. So as long as that keeps that pattern, you're in good shape. So, all right, that's it for now, guys. We'll be back tomorrow, Friday. Please subscribe and like, and that's it for now. Peace.